I'm your host, BrightLearn, and today we have a real treat for you. We're going to be talking about something that sounds like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie, but I promise you, this is real life. We're talking about strange biological masses falling from the sky in Florida. Yes, you heard that right. And to help us unpack this, I've got the incredible Dr. Jane Ruby joining us, who recently teamed up with Mike Adams for some eye-opening microscopy analysis. So, let's jump right in. Dr. Jane Ruby, who has been concerned about chemtrails and aerial spraying for quite some time, decided to take matters into her own hands. She set up a small greenhouse with plastic covers to protect her plants from whatever might be falling from the sky. And boy, did she find something. Over the course of 6 months, these plastic covers collected a thick, mysterious residue that just wouldn't wash off. She reached out to Adams, and together, they decided to take a closer look under the microscope. Now, when they first started examining the sample, they were expecting to find dust, pollen, maybe some dirt particles. But what they discovered was far more intriguing. As they zoomed in with the microscope, they began to see strange structures that looked like tiny eggs, bacterial colonies, and even fungal features. At 200 times magnification, they noticed weird strands and white filaments. But things really got interesting when they cranked up the magnification to 2,000 times. At this higher magnification, they spotted what appeared to be diploid egg-like structures scattered across the surface of the plastic. These structures were bulbous, translucent, and had a network-like appearance inside. Ruby even pointed out what looked like a black dot on top of one of the structures. And if that wasn't enough, they also found what seemed to be a tail-like appendage. Adams described it as looking like some kind of weird, microscopic egg thing. Now here's where things get really interesting. Ruby noted that these structures reminded her of the molecular structure of graphene oxide, which was a key component in the COVID-19 vaccines. Adams mentioned that the United States government has a history of weaponizing technology, including the creation of Lyme disease and the involvement in the SARS-CoV-2 vaccine. This raises the question, could these strange biological masses be a form of bioweapon? Or perhaps a mechanism to make people sick, thereby fueling a pandemic narrative? Ruby and Adams discussed the potential health implications of these findings. They noted that the elderly population in Florida could be particularly vulnerable to rapidly developing illnesses. They also pointed out that the structures they were observing were small enough to be inhaled without triggering a sneeze reflex, making them virtually undetectable to the human eye. This could mean that people are unknowingly breathing in these particles, which could be contributing to mysterious illnesses. So, what can we do about this? Ruby and Adams emphasized the importance of collecting more samples and conducting further analysis. They suggested using materials like ghost wipes, which can be easily dissolved in solvents, to isolate the sample. They also encourage listeners to reach out if they have any information or if they find similar structures in their own environments. Dr. Ruby's public email is realdoctor, Jane Ruby at proton.me, and she can be found on X and Telegram under the handle Real Dr. Jane Ruby. In conclusion, this investigation is just beginning, and there's still a lot we don't know. But one thing is clear. We need to keep asking questions and demanding answers. As Adams said, we're using the tools of science to find out what they are doing to us. So, let's stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay vigilant. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of BrightLearn. If you found this information as fascinating as I did, please share it with others and help spread the word. Until next time, stay bright, stay informed, and take care.
This has been a BrightLearn.a summary of an interview between Dr. Jane Ruby and Mike Adams on April 2nd, 2025. The full interview is available at brighteon.com, where you can also find podcasts and special reports by Mike Adams and other creators. Visit naturalnews.com for full editorial coverage of this interview and breaking news on critical stories that will keep you informed and aware of what's really going on.